thought process of doing better. The foundation of not achieving. Why am I going to speak on it? Because it is on my spirit, and this is my channel, and I decided to speak on it. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a kid, they came to my mother and they told her of a program. The true name of this program, which we know now, is the School to Prison Pipeline. That's the true name of this program. But they presented to my mother as, hey, we can see what district you live in, what project you live in. You can get extra help if you have a child with special needs. And you know, your son's having a problem in school, he's not sitting still, he's not excelling, having some problem with reading comprehension and all this other stuff. So, I mean, technically under the few guidelines, and the guidelines are loose, he may need to be tested for, you know, dyslexia, which is a disability. But if he can qualify, you know, that could give you some extra aid and help. For the area we're in, the time we're in, put it to about $700, $800 a month. My mother being in her direct situation, she was separated from my stepfather at the time, or if she just wanted the money. I can't speak to her mindset, because I was in middle school at the time. You know, maybe 6th grade or something. She takes it, goes through the situation. They moved me from a regular class to what our kids call at the time, slow class. But the correct name for it and polite name for it is a resource class. I go from 20-something kids, 30-something kids in the class to like 6 kids in the class. In this class, there is no real concrete grading system. All of us are not even on the same curriculum. Instead of, you're gonna have to do better, young man, it's just do your best. In this class, they reaffirm a child's insecurities. Well, you know, maybe you should read this book because, you know, you can't really read that well. You know how your reading is, right? Yeah, I know. So early they plant the seeds of your self-esteem. Well, you know I have a reading issue. You start owning it. I mean, you're only what, 11, 12? You're not mentally prepared for this type of mental programming or setting up or negligence. Because certain places, if you were in front of the right teacher, they could have slapped a hand and fixed that. But this teacher is just babysitting you, waiting for the time for you to go to PE or lunch and then get out of here. In this class, I didn't learn how to read. My mom speaks something about it and says, you know, he's not getting better at reading. What's going on? Oh, like I said, his problem's worse than we thought. They're saying this in front of me, so I'm thinking, I don't know, damn, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid. Well, I might as well own that early. It is what it is. My mom homeschools me for 2 years, sent me back. I'm reading at a college level by 9th grade. But she not giving that checkup, so I still go back to a resource class. I'm telling you this story for a reason. Because you may be not in the game yet, at home, going through a halfway house, or you may have a phone in prison. And this story, you may be like, hold on, this happened to me. Okay, so I go back to school, 9th grade, go back to a resource class. I'm reading at a high level. My math is a little shaky. And they say, hey, you know, you're not good at math because of ABC. They're telling you why you're not good, not why you can do better. I stay in this class for 4 years. By now, I have a healthy marijuana habit. I like to smoke drugs, smoke weed, drink, you know, chase the biddies, because I'm thinking this is what I'm good at. Because I dang sure ain't good at none of the bookwork stuff. And they've been telling me for years at this point. I'm at 11th grade. They've been telling me since 6th grade. I didn't tell myself I wasn't good at this. A grown-up who is in the said position that I'm supposed to respect, who explains the world to me, told me that you're not that smart. That's for higher level kids. At the level you're at, you should focus on this. You should focus on a vocational school, which actually is not a bad idea, because they actually usually make more money than the college people and the basic college people. But that's a whole different conversation. You should focus on that. You should focus on something you could do, like, you know, more physical, less clerical work, less book work. Because this what these teachers was giving me in this prison, in this school, the prison pipeline, was the foundation that they have proven that fits the people who leave high school and is locked up by 21. So I bite into it. What else am I? I'm not being, you know, media and influence is a diet of the mind. I'm not being fed nothing else. So hey, whatever. Why am I even taking this seriously? You know, hit biddies, smoke drugs. What else am I gonna do? Like, I'll focus on just being on the things I think I'm good at. You know, which is, you know, talking to girls, being young, being cool. I know more about that than I know about the re-education. I know more about that. Well, time passed. I get to 11th grade. It's at Oscar Smith High. If I'm not mistaken, it was Mr. Weber. He was the, I think it was Mr. Weber. He was the principal at the time. He talks to me about what I'm going to do about graduation, and explains to me that I'll have to accept a certificate of achievement, which is nothing. I asked him, what would I have to do to get a diploma? Because at this time I am cognizant, I know that a certificate of achievement is nothing. Well, what have I been doing since I've been coming here? Like, how many credits do I have? What would I have to do? He told me that in 3 years at his organization, I only had 2 credits. Now, if you're someone that does not understand the situation, I only have 2 credits. Yeah, the PE credits, the physical credits. The resource classes don't give credits. So they just held me in those classes, me being used to being in an institution, being in one room. Like I told you, it's the school to prison pipeline. I got used to going to a place, because if you look at a school is just a pre-prison. That's all it is. It's no difference. That is, you send your kid to prison every day. Walking single file lines, all that. You send your kid to that all the time. by the time they get to prison, it won't be that much of a shock on the system. It's just like school. Same colors on the walls, same type of walls, everything. He said, I would have to go back to the 9th grade if I wanted to get my diploma. There was a silence in the room where I'm looking at his face, his blue eyes, his gray hair, and I'm just, there's a twinge of confusion, but there's a moment where he feels like, I know you screwed me over. Like he feels like, oh, this, he understands that this is a screw over. Or he at least understands that something's not right. Because he then jumps back to the, hey, look, there's still stuff you can do. I don't say anything as he goes through his pitch of why he sabotaged my life. He goes into his pitch of what I can do with less opportunity that his institution put me in. He goes through his pitch of, this is where you're supposed to be. I stand up and I just looked at him, and by this time I'm 6'1". I'm a pretty big dude at this time. He's like 5'7". And I just said, no thank you, and I walked out. From then I knew that none of their words matter. I walked straight for the door. Excuse me, so you gotta go back to class, young man. None of that's working anymore. This institution is fraudulent. By the time I had a car, I just kept walking. I remember in Oscar Smith, when you first walk into the front door, it's like a court. You pull up, you drive in. There's the office is right there. You come out and make a right. You go that way to the lunchroom. You got to keep going straight to get to the cars. Right? You have to keep going straight to get to the cars. I just kept walking. I didn't hear anything. It's like, why am I even here? Why am I even in this building? This is not working towards anything. I'm about to turn 18 and I got 2 high school credits. He followed me. The security guy walked up. I just looked at him and he didn't touch me. He just looked at me like, whoa. Because what rule do you? This is a fraudulent institution. I don't have to be here. And I would want to stay in line because I'm thinking I'm getting the thing that's going to allow me to go off into the world and do what I need to do. But you just explained to me, I'm not getting that. I have no reason to be here. None. Still not knowing the depth of the betrayal from my mother, we didn't even talk about it. When I dropped out, we didn't even have a conversation. No, it kind of makes sense because I would watch my Aunt Siri with her kids checking report cards, and I'm thinking, that never happened for me. That's because they knew. They already knew the report card was fake. It didn't mean anything. This is me later on in trucking, remembering back. Like, no one checked my report card. Because they knew my report card was just something to make me feel normal. I just left. They didn't call truancy, nothing. Because everybody was in on it. They knew. You're in the pipeline. All I'm supposed to do is house you until I send you off into the prison industrial complex. That's the only point, the reason of me. That's the only reason why you're here. This is a pre-academy to gauge who goes to prison and who doesn't. That's what this institution is. It's filtering the people out to the cogs in the system. And early on, they said, oh, somewhere in, I say fifth or sixth grade, they looked at me and said, okay, he's perfect for prison. This person, okay, you know what? He keep it up. He can do a blue collar or technical job. He's good for the academic level. You say, well, where's the one for the politicians? The politician level people, they're not even at the public school. They're at the school for the politicians and the CEOs. That isn't the public school. I just went straight to work. And I could tell that the indoctrination had me in a different place. I didn't even try to get a good job. Because I mentally, I accepted that I wasn't that smart. Laborer jobs. I remember going to a Hazel and being called a Mexican backhoe. And I didn't understand what that meant at 18. Like, what is that? What is that? Meaning I was the lowest rung. I was the dude that held the shovel, a laborer. Mexican backhoe. I was putting pipes in the ground in the winter in Northern Virginia and making $9.50. That job didn't stick. Did CBI for a while. That job didn't stick. And then I wondered if my friends knew. Eric and Jamie. I wonder if they knew that I was destined for prison. Or they just were oblivious to it. Not until, next thing you know, time speeds by. I'm 24. Nothing is done. I'm just smoking weed, going homeless, random jobs, hitting biddies, just living. Then I go to, things happen. I go to Colorado with my aunt. She started really dismantling my neglect as a child. The fact that I had never been to a dentist before. She had to get 2 of my teeth pulled out. They were rotten to no repair. My teeth cleaned. That was thousands of dollars. This is me as a 24-year-old. As a 24-year-old. I've never been to a dentist. I've been to a free clinic and got my teeth pulled. She paid for me to go to a school to get my GED, then gave me money for me to ride the express from Boulder to Denver to where the inner city people were for me to get my GED. And some of the stuff was hitting, but I didn't understand how bad I was neglected. I didn't get it. I thought I was doing good. You know, I didn't think it was that serious. I thought, hey, my mom didn't beat me. I was never sexually abused. I felt loved. So, what's the deal? It wasn't like she was doing it on purpose. She did the best she could do because she was terribly treated. So, she thought giving you love and all this stuff was good. Education was not a thing of her mind. Or she didn't go to the dentist as a kid, so she wouldn't know. So it just was, she treated me better than what she was treated. Which is what I had to come to forgive my mom on the inside. But, you know, once I get into GED, besides spelling, I just can't spell. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't know if it's just I'm lazy, I just don't want to do it. It's just I don't even care enough to try to spell it right. Like, it's just what it is. But everything else, I'm advanced. He's like, you should have been in advanced classes for 80% of your freaking school career. You know, normal in this scale that he was showing me, normal would have been, you know, 495. You're in the high 600s, bro. You should have been. I said, then tell me how I could end up in a slow class from middle school to high school. And that's when I was hit with the school to prison pipeline. Unfortunately, you were targeted for the school to prison pipeline. It was all a lie. You were mentally programmed, mentally assessed, and set on a road to prison. They were going to kick you into the world, and this happens it happens predominantly in black and brown, but understand, this is all public school. So don't think no one is exempt. This is done by numbers. They would have kicked you out of school, or you would have left school with a certificate that you would have soon found out meant nothing. And if you were not the type to sit there, you would have eventually found a way to make more money, which would have been illegal, and they would have had you. So to the point that the cops are sitting in those neighborhoods knowing y'all are getting released, knowing that you're going from pre-prison and that they're supposed to catch you when you try to get money. It's all a setup. It's a setup. From Oklahoma to Kansas, dog, it doesn't matter. From white Mexican to black. Some kids can benefit from the resource class, but its main purpose is to kick out laborer prisoners. If you don't go the prison route, you go the labor route, and just be a cog in the system that's a slave to all of the symbols of success. So you'll basically get to a situation where you're making like $60,000 a year from laborer, but you'll finance to death by buying a personal home and a personal truck, and you'll work for the rest of your life to pay that off. And that exact position is what creates money. Credit creates money. They don't go find the money for your pickup truck in a hole somewhere and give you the loan. No. When you sign the loan and agree to it, that's when the money is created. It was a setup. The whole thing. To a child that knew no better. How evil does the system have to be to where their target is adolescents, children? If you can do that to children, why is R. Kelly in jail? If you can subject a kid to less pay, less level of life, prison where he could be or she could be abused in unimaginable ways, it should be legal to piss on one. That's all I'm saying.